Okay, here we go. First start with our new $100,000 engine. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to JR Garage. Check it out, our latest acquisition, this beautiful GT3 Touring. Just kidding, this is JR Aviation, where today we got part 3 of the Piper Malibu rebuild. Big updates and a lot will be going down this video. Don't skip through any of it, stay till the end. We're gonna make some insane progress on the plane, and hopefully by the end of this video, we'll be going for a first start after getting the newly overhauled engine installed. Check it out, it's all bright and shiny. I gotta show it to you. Here it is, but before I show you this, I gotta show you the man who's gonna be making the magic happen this week. Bryant, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for coming out. You're one of the Malibu experts and you know this plane through and through, right?
Definitely spent the last 3 years learning them.
So A&P, IA, and you've done a lot of Malibu annuals. You were just doing some stuff in the back here, one of which potentially could have been a big scary thing that would have grounded this plane. Can you tell us something about that? It just came out?
We got a service bulletin that came out on the frames back here. We were looking for cracks inside the frame.
And if you have it, obviously plane's grounded. Big repair bill. But you said ours is good, you just checked it?
We are good.
Oh, okay, that could have been bad. All right, that's great news. Okay, so a couple of bits of good news, a couple small things. No major bad news yet, but it's only been a couple hours, right? We're just kicking off. Today's a half day, tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that are gonna be all full days of work. But good stuff so far?
Oh yeah, actually one of the nicer 310s I've seen, so
hey,
you lucked out on this one.
We'll take it. Okay, good, good, good. I mean, you've seen a lot of them, so if you think this is nicer than average, then that's good news for us. Oh boy. Look at this mess of parts. I know it looks chaotic and crazy now, but believe me, in a few days, everything will be back onto the plane and hopefully we will have a running Malibu. Let's check in on Christian. What you got cooking here? So Bryant told you to undo all these panels?
Exactly, gave me an easy job opening all the access panels, and then sure enough, he said check those hose clamps on the fuel lines that they often somehow magically back themselves off, and sure enough, they all needed a few throws of the ratchet. Checked inside the panel with his inspection mirrors and everything on the ribs of the wing and everything else inside of there.
So wings are good, but you did find one little fuel leak back here?
A couple fuel leaks. Actually, there's several. Got a couple screws leaking, a couple panels, a couple rivets out there.
Didn't even notice that, sure enough. Okay.
Got some leaky screws on the access panel, and then our drain is fuel sump drain's starting to leak on the O-ring.
Okay.
That's actually on both sides. Left
Pretty
and
typical.
Right. Yep, sump is pretty typical, and every once in a while I see these, so easy fix, just a little sealer.
All right,
back in.
and you're checking over here for like cracks. That's a typical spot.
So these brackets here end up cracking out. And I added an extra row of rivets in when the mod's added. This side hasn't been done, that side has been modded, but no cracks here, so we're good to go.
Obviously, it's a little dirty in some areas, guys. This thing probably hasn't been cleaned in a long time. Definitely in need of that, so that's something simple I can do while they do the harder stuff, obviously. Speaking of harder stuff, installing this engine. Wow, okay. So you guys remember part 1, bought this plane, great deal. It needed some work, but it was ferried back, and that's when they started to pull some cylinders to get the compressions up where it was low, and they found bad problems. Some corrosion on the cam and lifters, as well as some metal in the oil. And after debating whether I ran the engine or just overhaul it, we elected to overhaul it because it was already pretty high time. So we figured it'd be worth it. We'd get our money back out of it when we go to sell it, because who doesn't like a freshly overhauled engine on their plane, especially a Malibu like this. This is a big ticket item, so to have it done, it'll help on resale. But boy, it does not help the bank account. My goodness, the cost for this bright, shiny piece of metal. Oh boy, they did a great job on it. It took a long time getting all the parts because our crank failed the overhaul, unfortunately. And so we had to buy a overhaul crank that was like, I don't know, like 8,000 bucks or 10,000 bucks, maybe more. Finding cranks for some of these engines is really, really hard. Okay guys, here's a cool behind the scenes look at all of the parts for our engine before they get assembled together. We got the fresh case here, check it out, sitting pretty, looking shiny. And then we got the overhauled cam. Oh geez, engine builders probably speak this language, where we got connecting rods and look at all these gears and parts and bolts and screws and nuts and holy smokes. Good thing the guys who are assembling this know what they're doing, because this all looks like a foreign language to me. But check it out. Oh my gosh, we got the glorious overhauled crank. Really hard to get right now, depending on what engine you have. The 520s, the 550s, not an easy part to get. This sucker was not cheap, but look at that. Wow, that's an expensive piece of metal right there. And then here are some of the old parts off our engine, stuff that can't be reused, but a lot of it is reusable. Look at all these rocker arms, lifters, valves. Well, it'll be back together in no time. But eventually everything came back together, and boy, does it look good. I'm sure some people are in the comments right now saying, oh, you should have upgraded to the 550 while you're at it. Yeah, we could have, but that is a massive, massive expense. Maybe if the rest of the plane had like full-blown Garmin glass and super, super low time and just was pristine everywhere else, sure, it'd be worth investing into like a brand new upgraded 550 engine instead of the 520. But just overhauling the existing 520, we definitely saved some money, and I think it's fitting for the price point of the entire plane, if that makes sense. But real quick, guys, give me a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, Raycon. 5 years ago now, we got our first set of Raycon earbuds, and they still work great. But guess what? I just got their latest and greatest set, the Everyday Earbud Classics, which now finally feature active noise canceling. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think active noise cancellation is one of the coolest features you can pack into your little earbuds. For me, it's essential. I am always flying on planes, and if you didn't know already, that's when I get the majority of my editing done. The only problem is airplanes are loud, especially our airplanes. So the fact that I can just pop in these bad boys and seconds later have that loud jet noise disappear is amazing. In fact, I was wearing these the whole 3-hour flight to Oshkosh while I was finishing this video. And the other coolest part is the battery packs a punch. You get 8 hours of playtime out of them with a 32-hour battery. Thanks to the optimized gel tips, these things are extremely comfy. You can wear them for hours on end and not feel sore afterward. And I must say the audio quality is right on point with all those other brands you've heard of, except these are half the price. Price gets even better when you use my special link down below. That is buyraycon.com/JRAviation for 20% off. That's right, anything on the site is 20% off when you shop at buyraycon.com/JRAviation. Thank you so much to Raycon for supporting the channel over the years, making videos like this possible. Now, without further ado, back to the video. What you check for now, Bryant?
Oh, checking the power pack, looking for some leaks. Looking for some cracks around the frames. Checking the bulkhead back here for some cracks.
Okay, so this is our first pressurized piston plane. This is a cool view. I've never really seen this bulkhead area. So how does it work?
Yep, so we got a big solid piece of metal holding our pressurization in. You got to think we're pressuring this thing up to about 5.5 psi.
Yeah,
okay. That's per square inch.
Oh,
so how many square inches do we have in this plane?
A lot.
That's how much pressure we're actually throwing in. So that's why this bulkhead is so thick and so big. And these two black valves here are our outflow valve and our safety valve. The outflow valve is actually what controls the pressurization. As the plane turbos are spooling up, building boost, that boost is shoved into the cabin, and we're just throwing air into it to pressurize it. And then so we can control how much pressure is in there, that little valve has a little rubber piece that opens and closes. So as we're flying around, that thing is just continuously moving, opening and closing, and changing the amount of air that's actually inside the plane. And that controls our pressurization. And then if that valve for some reason fails, doesn't want to open up all the way, and we over pressurize, we get up to 5.5. The safety is then gonna open up. That is all it's designed to do, is at 5.5 psi, just like a blow-off valve on a car. It just pops open at 5.5, and then we'll make sure that you keep 5.5 psi and you don't over pressurize the plane.
Another thing I need you to explain, what the heck are these and how do they work?
Yep. So they're called oxygen generators. I don't know exactly what chemical is inside here. There's a little igniter right here that if you pull that string out, it would click and then ignite, and then it's gonna burn. They get super, super hot. And while it burns, it creates oxygen, and then that's what gives you the oxygen, supplies you oxygen.
But I mean, at the end of the day, the highest you're gonna be is 25,000 feet. So this isn't like a jet where you have 10 seconds to react. No. I mean, 25, not great, but
you got time, but it gives you enough time to get back down into the altitude where you can breathe. And
interesting. So chemical reaction, not just a tank full of oxygen. So why they do that? To save weight and space?
weight, space. Overall, it's cheaper. You don't have to keep servicing them. These are 15-year items.
Nice, 15 years. Okay, learn something new every day.
So I gotta look at the dates on them.
This video is gonna be jam-packed full of content throughout the whole week. We're hopefully gonna put everything in one jumbo huge video. That's why you can look down and see the length of it. It's gonna be huge, but for good reason. It's only been a couple hours and we're already tearing into it. Bryant wanted to waste no time, so he immediately started turning wrenches on the plane. We just landed a couple hours ago. He flew in from Kansas City, where he's from. We flew in from Arizona, and Christian and I are here to help him in any way that we can, kind of like an owner-assisted annual. Once again, we love doing those because it helps with timing, it helps with the budget, and we can learn a lot at the same time. And it's fun because I get to show you guys behind the scenes of a thorough, in-depth annual on a pretty high-performance single-engine piston, about the highest performance you can go for a single-engine piston. So this is a cool look into an airframe that you probably don't usually get to see torn apart on YouTube. So that's why I made it a point to be up here so that I could document it all for you guys. So let me not tease you anymore. Let me show you some of the parts we're working with here, including some of the new parts from Dawson Aircraft in Arkansas. Yes, that's right. I got super lucky that right after making that part 2 video where we mentioned how we're gonna need the engine overhauled, we might wanna upgrade the propeller, we might wanna put in an engine monitor, we might wanna redo the interior. Guess what? Dawson just got in a Piper Malibu parts plane that they were just starting to piece apart when we found out that we needed all these parts, right? So we immediately reached out and we're like, hey, guys, we need a lot of stuff. Let's do a big package deal. And boy, did they come through. Take a look. You might notice we have 4 turbos laying around. Why do we have 4 turbos? This is not a quad turbo W16 Bugatti engine. No, it only needs 2. That's because off that plane that got parted out came 2 really nice turbos that are low time, whereas our turbos are obviously, once again, super high time, like 1,800 hours since overhaul or something like that, and one has some shaft play, so we obviously needed turbos. And yeah, I could have gone freshly overhauled turbos, but these are like very close to fresh. I think this one's got like 250 hours on it, or 300 hours, and they sold them to us for like 400 bucks a piece. So I was like, that's a no-brainer, so might as well just do that. So we'll make note of the current times of these turbos into the logs when they do the engine log and all that jazz. But Christian, the other big thing was the interior. Oh boy, bye-bye nasty 90s burgundy pink, whatever the heck.
Looks great, it feels great, soft leather, it smells nice. Yeah, basically kind of a full interior job.
Side panels and everything. And it's all plug and play. That's what we were looking for. Now, of course, you guys know we got Aviation Creations, Ron Matta in our back pocket. They do incredible work, but we're not sure if we're gonna keep this plane for a long time. If we were planning to do that, we'd for sure do some custom JR Aviation special interior. But once again, I was weighing the 2 price options. For Ron and his team to do the work to make a custom interior, that's a lot of time. Whereas this interior, it was all complete. It's fresh out of the parts plane and it's all in great shape, all for a heck of a good deal. Now, of course, we have a few things out for the annual and a few pieces are still red in here, aka the carpet and this leather piece, which they didn't have off the parts plane. No problem, we will have Ron do a few pieces, that being one of them, but here are the actual seats themselves. Great condition, super squishy, redone not long ago, just a nice like tan, plain interior color. And then yes, unfortunately all of the headrests have tow mate stitched into them. I guess clearly the people who own this Malibu before had that as their personal corporate plane or whatever, so they customized all the interior, which is not great for us because now they all have to be redone. But once again, that is something that Ron can do lickety split, won't take him much time. But yeah, all the side panels, those are all from the parts plane. Just a few things need to still be done, like the plugs for the headset, they're still pink, so they have to be done, and a couple other things. But overall, not bad. The headliner is already in great shape, so we didn't have to swap that. Still have the factory 80s blinds, which, hey, I mean, they work, so why change them? But yeah, soon in a part 4 or part 5 video, we'll have this interior 100% perfect. It's like 80% right now. Oh, and then up here we have the replacement KX165 radio. For some reason, the original one just crapped out on the flight home, so I'm hoping that it just needs a new, good, used unit. This one was tested as being operational and all that, and I got it for like 600 bucks, which is a smoking deal. So hopefully, best case scenario, the old one will slide out, this one slides in, and within 30 seconds we have a working COM2. And this one's actually pretty cool. The KX165, it tells you what radial you're on, so see the RAD right there? The KX155 does not have that, so I think that's a feature of the 165, but otherwise it's basically the same thing. You gotta make sure you get the right voltage. They have 14 and 28. The replacement we had to buy for the Cherokee 235 was 14 volt. And this is 28, so you don't want to mix the two up when you're buying it. And you got to make sure it comes like with glide slope if you need it, which I think we do, and this has all of it built in here. You can see, I think this one is the glide slope like receiver plug thing. So anyway, we saved some money on that too. So long as that fixes the issue, we'll know probably tomorrow. And Christian, possibly the thing I'm most excited about from Dawson, a complete out of a Malibu JPI 900 primary engine monitor.
Certified.
So I just learned this the other day too. Like this looks identical to I think the JPI 830. So I'm like, well, why is this one like thousands of dollars more? Well, it turns out the 900 is the certified primary engine monitor display. So meaning you can rip out your old factory gauges.
That's right, so we'll probably leave ours in there as a backup, but they are a backup. They are not your primary engine instrument. So you could remove them if you wanted to also.
Wow, this is so cool. And what's neat is they designed it to go in a standard like hole. You can just mount it just like that, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. Yes, the JPI 930 we had on the Banana 210, I mean, that was sweet, not gonna lie, that's like the best engine monitor. But it's huge, takes up a lot of room, and I think it costs a few $1,000 more. So this is really all we need. Brian's most certainly gonna have his work cut out for him, making all of that go into that. But hey, he did tell us he enjoys wiring. He did warn us, he's like, guys, most likely a probe or two will be broken or won't work when we plug it all in, because the probes are notorious for failing. We'll see what we're in for, but man, if we can get all this to go, it's got like the oil temp, it's got fuel flow, it's got everything, all the probes, and it's already out of a Malibu, so hopefully it communicates and plug and plays very nicely. So that's the goal. So yeah, keep that in mind when you need parts for your plane. Consider buying used quality parts. It can save you a ton of money, and in some cases you can't even find a new part, so it's your only option. So definitely consider it. So a massive shout out to Dawson Aircraft for having these parts just at the perfect timing when we needed them. We got really lucky there. We'll go ahead and link them down below if you need any parts for various aircraft. They certainly have a lot of Malibu parts, and they have a lot of other random parts as well. So they might have what you need. Be sure to check them out. So you might have noticed as I walked by, we have a 4-blade propeller here. Now you might be saying, I don't remember a 4-blade when you guys picked this plane up. That's right, because when we bought the plane, it had the factory Hartzell 2-blade propeller, which doesn't look the best, doesn't perform the best, and weighs a lot. Believe it or not, this 4-blade MT propeller weighs less than the 2-blade Hartzell. Can you believe that? That's because this is a composite prop. It's not metal, that's why it weighs so little. So not only do we save some weight, they say it has better climb performance, better takeoff roll, quieter cabin. I'm excited about that. It's already a pretty quiet airframe, but with a 4-blade, I think it's gonna really take it to the next level of quiet and comfort and luxury on the inside. And better yet, the 2-blade and the 4-blade are like interchangeable when it comes to wiring and all the attachments. So it's very simple to swap on. Whereas the 3-blade prop, yes, it's a great prop. It's the best of the 3 actually. It requires a massive amount of labor to get it installed because you have to redo a lot of the wiring. Brian, do you know the rough cost of a 3-blade prop? Isn't it like 50,000 bucks to do it all? It's up there. I'll have to put it up on the screen, but.
So the reason why we can just bolt this on directly, switching from a 2-blade to a 4-blade, but a 3-blade we cannot. If you see, this is our ring where we get our power to heat our boots because they're electrically heated. It's called our slip ring. On the 3 boots, we have 3 actual sources of power. So we'll actually have 2 sources of power and 1 ground, where this one we just have power and ground. The reason why, this is our heating element for the boots so we don't get any ice while we're flying. These heat up the entire section on the 4-blade and the 2-blade. But the 3-blade, you have an inboard and an outboard.
Oh.
So you're gonna heat up the inboard first, and then it's gonna time out, and then it's gonna heat up the outboard. Where this one is gonna just heat up the entire boot while you're flying. So that's gonna be why we can directly bolt this one up. With the 3-blade, we'd have to do all the extra wiring.
Oh, okay, makes sense now. The visual, I get it now.
Yeah.
I remember them saying stuff about that on the forums, but I'm like, I don't know what any of that means.
Yep.
Now I do. Okay, Bryant, that's a wrap for day 1. So I know the viewers see all of this and they're like, there's no way. What the heck? That's 1,000 pieces. How are you gonna put that all back together? But you assure me, it's gonna all go back together.
Very carefully.
We'll have our work cut out for us tomorrow. Big day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we will catch you guys in day 2. See you in the morning. Boom, welcome to day 2, everyone. We are up and at 'em early. Christian, what's on your agenda today?
Already got the carpets out, some access panels out, basically more access panel kind of thing.
Bryant, what are some of those items that Christian's pulling out? The seats and the carpet. What will that reveal?
AC lines, make sure those are secure, not leaking. Check all the control cables, make sure those aren't frayed. Routed correctly. Gives us access to underneath the instrument panel, so we can get under there. We need to look at the rudder interconnect tube.
Okay, fair enough. And then you're obviously working one of the turbos here, so this is the co-pilot side.
You're telling me this thing's got air conditioning?
I guess.
It is.
Yeah.
This is only our second plane with air conditioning.
Is it a decent system or is it?
It's actually really good. It should be R12 still, so it's gonna cool really good.
Oh boy, R12, that's hard to find. So yes, that's right. This plane has 2 turbos and 2 intercoolers. As I've discussed on the channel before, a lot of turbocharged planes didn't come with intercoolers. Our T210 from the factory, no intercooler, so it gets really hot really fast. But with twin intercoolers, it's gonna help keep this engine cool and get some bonus performance.
Twin turbocharged 520 cubic inches.
Yeah, let's not forget, this is like an 8.4 liter flat 6.
Shoot, so that's a twin turbocharged Viper.
Yes, this is bigger than the Viper motor with twin turb skis. Yet it only makes 300 horsepower. A twin turbo Viper would be like 900. This plane redlines at 2,600 RPM, pretty low compared to some others. Bonanzas are like 2,700, our 182 is like 2,850, I'm pretty sure. And then remember the Malibu Mirage that came after this plane in 1989, that was changed to the Lycoming 350 horsepower twin turbocharged engine. There's pros and cons to both. I don't want to get into it or else I'll create a war in the comment section, but I personally prefer the Continental. It goes lean of peak a lot better and much better economy. So Christian and Bryant have their tasks, but my task, like I said earlier in this video, is cleaning. And I'll have my work cut out for me, but check this out. Look at the before and after, the 50-50 split. This is 2 pieces, so I did the right piece. Looks fantastic. Nice. And then the left, this is what we were working with before. It's been sitting for months and months, and I guess some birds got to that one, so some bird poop all over that, so I'll clean that up. But no cracks, the paint's in good shape underneath. It's just dirty, hasn't been cleaned in a long time. So this morning I knocked out all the baffles. All these orange parts were pretty black before, and now they're pretty bright and shiny orange, so I'm happy with that. Okay, Christian, you were just stuffed in here for like half an hour. What were you doing?
Well, it didn't take me that long. Okay, maybe it did because it was the first time. Just making sure I did everything right. So our airframe fuel filter, probably one of the first fuel filters along the way, needed to be removed and inspected because they can corrode inside if you know, water in your system. Water is a problem with all sorts of things. So we removed it. We still need to safety wire it back to the bracket, but we finished safety wiring the filter back in place and tightened up those fuel line and fittings, tightened up the brackets. So now safety wire the bracket, then we're done.
This has definitely got to be one of the coolest parts of a Malibu, having this huge baggage area. It's only rated up to 100 pounds. You could probably fit a lot more than that in it, but still, having this nose compartment is just huge. I mean, we could fit in there. If you keep your carry-ons to like 25 pounds, you could easily fit 4 in here, I would argue. So some golf clubs, I mean, this is a big selling point in the Malibu. People really like this. And plus, behind the rear seats, you have room, but this plane is naturally a little tail heavy, so you don't want to go loading a ton of weight back there. You want to start here. Okay, vlog update. Christian and I are almost to the end of the paper towels. We've been going at this for like 2 hours just on the engine bay alone, but boy does it look good. Before Bryant puts on this side turbo and the intercoolers, we got all the parts and pieces up here nice and shiny. firewall, all these orange hoses the best we could. They looked pretty bad before, and now they look pretty good. We got to make the rest of the engine bay look close to as good as possible as this brand new engine. So it would be a shame if we didn't clean everything to the best of our ability. So a little bit left, but we're on the final stretch as far as the engine bay. Okay, I was gonna save all this for tomorrow, but we got a little more time in the day. So I'm just gonna show you how it works. Spray it down with the LA Totally Awesome, and then just scrub, 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 scrub really hard. And that's all there is to it. Eventually it'll all look like that, but for now it looks like this. So we'll get a cool before and after for you. Okay, and that's a wrap for day 2. Great progress made. The baffling is starting to go on. The accessories are going on. The vacuum pumps are already on. Magnetos are going on next. As far as the annual inspection items, they are just about all done. The only things left are once we get power to the plane, checking lights. You said lights and what else? Gear. Annual, just about done. Interior, Kershaw was working, putting everything back in, so almost done there. So this is just awesome, awesome stuff going into day 3. So we'll catch you then. Boom, day 3, let's get it. Already getting right to work. What's on the agenda? First thing, Bryant.
We are getting some baffles on. We're gonna get the wheels off, inspect the brakes, bearings, get everything looking good on the gear. Maybe take this actuator out, reseal it, and then continue on that engine and hopefully get it ready to get started up tomorrow.
Okay guys, time to swap the radio. Old one coming out. Watch how easy one of these radios can just slide out. Bam. Look at that. Out with the old. When's the last time this was overhauled? 2003 on the old one. Alright. And the new used one goes in. Look at that, guys. One of the easiest radios. Just slide in and out. Hopefully that does it. Place your bets down below, guys. Was it a wiring problem, or was it just that the old unit died of old age? And look at that, instant gratification. It works. Heck yeah. Wow. No pixels even burnt out. That's pretty rare.
Yeah, that's good.
Geez, for 600 bucks, that was a score. They're really expensive to fix and repair. I think upwards of 2 grand or more, so this saved us a lot of money. All right, guys, vlog update. We're going under the belly to do some cleaning. This is no one's favorite part about owning a plane. It is nasty, grimy, disgusting work, but here's what I already did. Of course, we gotta do like a final detail, but you can see we got a lot more to go. This is all just an oily mess from not being clean for probably hundreds of hours. This could just be from normal operation, or somebody was putting too much oil in the plane and it was just pissing out all over the belly. Not quite sure, but it goes all the way back. So I'll be here for the next hour. I won't bore you with this. You've already seen it before. Spray it down, wipe it off 10 times, and then eventually you'll see the raw, nice paint. Okay, update y'all. It in fact took a lot longer than the 1 or 2 hours predicted. So as you can see, a lot of the belly's nice, shiny-ish red, but a lot it's like this really dark black gray, and this just will not come off. It is caked on there so good. I'm having to take a box cutter and just lightly at the perfect angle so I don't scratch the paint, run up the remaining section and get all this what appears to be like sticky tar off of the belly. Obviously it's not tar, but it's like a buildup of just grime from probably years of use that never got cleaned up, and there it is. It's just a gross goo. So I still got this remaining section and some over there, and then the rest will just like machine polish off, but I'm getting the bulk of it off because this would jam up the pads pretty quick. Okay, and just like that, another pretty sunset on day, is it 3? I don't know. I can't even think straight. We are so hungry and tired. We're gonna go get some dinner, but the day is not even done yet because Brian says he wants to come back and work till like midnight. He's like, I gotta knock out some more work on this thing. He's still like shooting for a first start tomorrow. Off to Chili's we go. Everything is looking great. Belly's done. We're officially done with the cleaning part of this airplane. That took forever. So what else is on the agenda till midnight?
I'm gonna try to get a lot of it done. Gonna get the AC compressor mounted, going to go full on the back side and try to get all the lines around.
We'll check back in the morning, I guess, and see what has changed from now. Day 4, let's get it. Already 2 hours in. You stayed late last night like we explained on the video. Oh yeah, spark plugs are in. Look at this, turbo's all hooked up. Oh, and the alternator 2 mounted up. We got Carlos the detailer here working on these boots that were definitely needing some love before. By the time he's done, they're gonna look incredible. He did the boots on our Citation and the before and after is just insane. Obviously this plane's been sitting outside a bit, waiting for the engine, and they just feel really rough, and that is not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a nice, smooth, shiny finish. So we'll let him do his thing. There's this conductive strip right here that is also gonna be replaced, refinished. And then all we'll need is a nice fresh polish and ceramic coating, and then the exterior of this plane will be darn near a 10 out of 10. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What are we up to? Day 5, I think? This is the second week now. Bryant flew home to Kansas City and now he's back. I picked him up from San Francisco this morning. We are back to work on the Malibu, and boy, look at the progress. Check it out, already the Malibu is in the air. That's because today is the gear swing day and the wheel repack day. Yes. No wheel on the Malibu. Everything looks good here. He was saying the brakes look pretty fresh, yeah, brand new brakes, so that's good. And now just one more wheel to go and then gear swing time. So they're gonna be bringing over a GPU to power the gear swing. I asked, I'm like, hey, is the battery power enough? And you're like, no.
No, too much amperage on the gears for the battery. It actually will kick off and won't even, about mid-swing, we'll just shut off power off. So.
Oh, okay, so GPU it is. How's this one looking?
This one needs to be cleaned. This one hasn't been inspected yet.
All right, so a little cleaning job here. Cleaning job for me there. And then GPU and gear swing time. Ooh, how exciting. Okay, here we go. All right, down. Okay, flaps down.
Should lose all of our pressure. There it is, and then flaps back down. Cool. Flaps up.
Flaps up. Says pressure's at 1800.
And then gear up. Sweet.
No way, you fixed it that quick?
Yeah, I cleaned out that. So it's got a pressure relief cap in it. And it was dirty, so the pressure is leaking past. So I took it over to the solvent tank and cleaned it, and now it's sealing up. Our Canyon gear, we're going to have to do this a little differently than I normally do.
Okay.
We're going to pull the power pack,
it's out.
Breaker.
Okay, good.
And when I tell you to, we're going to release the emergency key gear handle, uncage it, and then pull it.
So
it
you
might be a little harder to pull than you expect.
Flip it down, okay.
I got to catch the nose gear when it comes down.
All right.
And then I'll lock out your mains, because the mains actually, that's what that down spring's for. It automatically locks the nose gear out automatically. But the mains, you actually have to use your air, so you have to bank left and then right.
Oh, okay.
And when you bank, it will actually lock them out in an emergency situation. After they're locked out, we'll push the emergency gear back in, and then we'll go gear down, and then we'll push the power pack back in.
All right, guys, I've never pulled the emergency gear extension before. Okay,
Pull it.
all right, here we go. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Bang, 1, 2. Yep, 3 green.
So we're gonna push the handle back in.
Back in. It was easy, it didn't take too much effort.
And then I'll cage it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go gear down.
Gear down.
And then push your hydraulic power
Pump back in. Huh. All right, nav, strobe, taxi, landing. Got all the lights on. Ice light. I don't see that one. Where's that? Over here. Ice light on. Okay, turn them off. Nice. All right, check it out, guys. The new ELT battery just came in, expiring December of 2026, not May of 2021. So now we're gonna go ahead and I just removed these 4 screws, pull this top piece out, swap this onto there, update the logs, call it a day. All right, for anyone who says all I do is clean things, well, you're right most of the time, but today I'm gonna be turning some wrenches. I will be tackling the vertical stabilizer improvement kit modification. It replaces the 6 bolts up here with the new hardware down there. So apparently it's a must-have mod, pretty straightforward to do, but it's terrible access, so it actually books at 3.5 hours of labor to replace these 6 bolts. So there's one here, those you can see, and the rest you can't see. There's one there, and then one all the way up there, and one all the way up there. So 6 total, 3.5 hours. Let's see how long it takes a novice like me to do it. Of course, Bryant will come by and torque them down to spec and make sure I did everything right, but should be easy enough, so let's get to it. Okay, small victory. We got one of them. This one that is visible, so one of the easier ones. Bang, one down, 6 to go. All right, let's see the difference between these two and why this is such a good mod. They look the same.
If you look, the shank is just a little shorter by like 2 threads.
Oh, okay.
1 thread on this one.
Yeah.
And then when we're double stacking the back,
yep,
whereas we used to have a single stack here, we're also making sure that we're getting off of this and able to actually be on the threads.
That makes sense.
What was wrong is these bolts were too long, and so we'll put this on, and then once this was all the way tight against there, that was actually longer than the material that it was trying to sandwich together. So we would bottom out here, but then we would still be able to move around, and the bolt would never be at the proper torque on the actual pieces that it's holding together. So they added that secondary washer to fill that gap, so you're not going to be up against there. You have another washer as well, and then they tried to shorten up that length right there.
All right, bam, number 3, let's get it. Okay, y'all, about an hour later now, we got 5 down, 1 to go, and it's the final boss, the hardest one, because you can see neither side of it. I just did that one right there. My neck really hurts twisting all weird to get access to it, but the one over on the other side, directly across from it, is behind this right here. So I can't see the back side or the front side. So this is gonna be tricky. If we can get this done in 30 minutes or less, then we beat the Piper time by 50%. So let's go. Well guys, the light went out, but that doesn't matter because you can't see anything anyway, but check it out. I got the final boss. Here it is. Okay. Ooh, wow. Bam, we got it, the final one. I will say having long, skinny hands is vital for this job, so we're making good pace. Let's toss the final one in, and then officially the vertical stabilizer improvement kit will be done. So this final one, you literally have to squeeze your whole hand and knuckle through that little hole and just poke until you find the bolt hole. So check this out. You don't think your hand would fit, but it does if they're skinny enough. Oh wait, it's not even that one, it's this one over here. So you gotta go around the cables. Oh geez, how did I even get this out? Okay. Oh my gosh, all right, then through. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, we're through. Now, you just poke around until you find the hole. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? Oh, there's the hole. All right, then you slide it on in and you push it all the way. Now we got to hit it from the back side and put these in. Bam. That is a wrap. Service bulletin complete. Proof that I can turn a wrench or two occasionally. Next up, we got the ELT going in. That hangs out right back there, right where I was working. So go ahead and slide this in. Yeah, it's gonna go right there. Positive, negative antenna. Plug that in and we'll be good to go. And boom. That's one secure, fresh ELT. We are going to be prepping for this new door seal to go on. The old one kind of deteriorated and flaked apart, so we got the new one. Not that much money. Bryant brought it with him, so we got it, and we just have to prep it right now with some Scotch-Brite. Just go over this bottom part. This is where the seal lies. We're gonna go ahead and build up some RTV right along here, and then we put on the seal, we let it sit, and then we should be good to go. So apparently it's really, really easy. So almost done with the prepping portion. Just got this bottom side to go, but it's only taking like 10 minutes. You just go like this, not much to it. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's emergency exit seal on with some RTV, but
Okay, you know we're getting close when we're filling it full of oil. What an exciting stage. That means the first start is imminent, and that will be tomorrow morning. So when it's daylight outside, it's already dark, so we're just doing the final steps tonight. And this is something that's easy enough for me to do. Normally, I'm a Phillips 2050 kind of guy, and they do actually make a mineral oil, but we don't have that available here on the field, so we're just going with the Aeroshell 100 mineral, which is fine, whatever, warmer weather up here. We're gonna change it out in like 3 hours anyway, just to get any metal out that could have gotten there from the first flight. Good idea to do, especially when it only holds 8 quarts. It's not that expensive. I haven't made a mess yet without a funnel. Let's see if we can continue. Got 4 or 5 more to go. There we go, cash money. Okay, and then what's cooking over here?
we got the AC compressor all mounted on, got the lines connected, got the wires ran, and
Mags on?
get the mags on tonight, and we got to get the left hand exhaust on, the connection between the intercoolers and the turbos on both sides, and it's done.
Bam.
Oh, and a prop.
And a prop. Yeah, we probably need
Couple
that.
belts, but easy stuff.
Just about. Final stretch, guys. Good morning, guys. I don't even know what day we're up to, maybe day 7 or 8, but it is startup day. First start with the Malibu. All that hard work is going to pay off, or at least I hope. We're either going to be in for a really, really awesome day or a really, really devastating day if something goes wrong. Keep in mind, this is to buy this engine new or factory rebuilt or just anywhere off the shelf, it's about $100,000. So this is a lot riding on the line. I certainly hope nothing goes wrong, because that will be very expensive and very time costly as well, obviously. If for some reason this has to come off, all this work has to be undone. So I'm really, really hoping everything goes well. This will be our first start after an engine rebuild. We've never got to witness that or share it with you guys on YouTube. So I hope this is a really cool insight to see a first smoky startup with a brand new engine breaking in for the first time. We probably got another 30 minutes or hour worth of work before we're ready to pull it out. It's just starting to warm up a bit, which is nice. He's just attaching the magnetos right now, running the wires, and I think that's it. Filled it with oil, got the filter on there, got the fuel system all checked out and hooked up. Everybody will give it one last look over to make sure we're not missing anything obvious, and then we're ready to go. So this is awesome. I went through the whole engine to remove any of those little pieces of tape with the writing on them to show where the item came from and where it hooks up to. Obviously, now that everything's hooked up, we don't need any of that anymore. So this was the final one, I think. 2 bottom turbo. See? I don't think I'm missing anything. You guys see any? It's official. It's on, and boy, does that look awesome. What a meaty, aggressive prop. Final step. How's it feel?
Good. That's the whole reason why you bought the plane, is put this prop on.
Yep, I did want to do a prop upgrade for sure when we bought this thing. The 2-blade just looks so, yeah, it is not a sexy prop. So the 4-blade or the 3-blade, that's the way to go. And the 4-blade being such an easy swap from the 2 is like perfect. Okay, so you're torquing it down, few last steps, connecting the belt, and we are very close to a startup, guys. So do you guys know that saying about how every car and plane project takes like 3 times as long as you think it will? Yeah, we're currently going through that right now. The last start we thought would be like the last 5 days, but it will be today. It's just, will it be in time? Everything changed the last 20 minutes. So as of yesterday, our plan today was to get this first start, and then once that was successful, my girlfriend and I, Owen and his girlfriend, were gonna pack in the Bonanza and go to Arizona for this event that we have tonight, and it was gonna be all fine and dandy, right? Well, Owen's girlfriend just got like food poisoning, isn't feeling well. We're no longer taking the Bonanza. They're coming tomorrow. So Sasha and I now have to commercial down to Arizona, and there's only one flight that works for the timing, and it leaves in like 2 hours from San Francisco, and we're in San Jose. So it's really coming down to the wire. We need a first start here in the next like 20 minutes, or else I have to go. I'm going to miss the flight, and we need to be there tonight. So it all comes down to these final 20 minutes. We thought we'd have like plenty of time because we were on our own schedule with the Bonanza. Not anymore. So let's get in there, pull this plane out, get the last things done, and hear this thing start for the first time. But yeah, this is no joke. Just like how you see on the TV shows, like,
oh, the final like 5 hours before this project must get done.
And yeah, most of that stage. No, this is legit. Like either it starts in 20 minutes or I have a sad end to this video. The final countdown, guys. This spark plug next to the intercooler is tough access, but rest went pretty easy. Almost done.
He does more than cleaning.
Second time turning a wrench. All right. Maybe this is why they changed the intercooler design on the Mirages. All right, Baron is out. Bonanza and GT3 are up next, and then we got a clear shot to bring the Malibu out. Chinese jumper pack coming to the rescue. 4.5 liter, 600 horsepower motor. Wow, look at that, shining. We actually had Carlos do the full polish here yesterday and this morning, so it looks amazing. Now all we need is a ceramic coating. Woohoo! Hasn't seen the light of day in a long time. Hopefully the battery's strong enough. Captain Bryant climbing in. Okay, nothing's in the way of the prop. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, guys, so step number 1 is pre-oiling the system. So bottom plugs are out, mags are off. There's no chance this thing's gonna start. Or just turn over the prop a bunch, get the oil mixed around the engine so that everything's covered nicely, so that when we start it, everything's nicely lubricated. That's the idea.
You got oil pressure already?
Yeah.
Really? That was fast. Okay.
Catching the first start. Oh, something's dripping. Fuel? Yeah, it just dripped for a bit. Where's this fuel coming from? No, it looks like the back of the...
Prime it again?
So long story short, we obviously couldn't go for a first start when we had gas pouring out of the plane every time we tried to prime it. Bryant did some quick diagnosing and he found it was leaking from the fuel pump. The seals looked like they were starting to like rip apart. So clearly that was our culprit. So that had to be sent out to overhaul. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't see it start this day. So you'll see we cut to 3 weeks later, and that's where the vlog picks up with our new fresh fuel pump. Alrighty guys, this vlog is not over. We are officially up to day, what, 8 or 9, like 3 weeks later now, because guess what just arrived in the mail? The fuel pump. So Brian is back. He flew back from Kansas City to button up some of the final things, installed a new fuel pump, and hopefully go for a first start here today. I know I've said that for like the past 5 days, but I think today's gonna be the day. So he's unboxing it now. We'll take a look at it, make sure it's the same part numbers and everything. Obviously it is. It's just all updated and new and fresh and ready to be tossed in. So I'm not anticipating any issues, but let's hope luck goes our way today. So we'll yank it out of the hangar here in just a moment. Will our TSIO 520-BE worth $100,000 start for the first time? We're about to find out. Finally, the new overhauled fuel pump has arrived. New gaskets, everything. The old gaskets.
See the old gasket here is all blown out and old. This one's new, but if you look right here, we're missing a gasket here where we have it all the way through on this side. The old housing had like a split in it. It looks like it might have been cracked.
All right, let's throw it in. Okay, here we go. First start with our new engine in 3, 2, 1.
That it feels right.